Good afternoon and welcome to the off-tube commentary between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea at the City Ground. Uh, the Premier League is back after a short break, and today's game is an interesting one. Nottingham Forest has spent $152 million to try to bring the glory days back to the City Ground, but so far they have realised just how difficult it can be in the top flight. As for Chelsea, with only one win in 5 games, the rope is beginning to tighten around Graham Potter's neck. And so far, they are 8 points behind the top four and desperately need a win to try to reduce that gap today. A point will take them into seventh, but that will not be enough for these ever-baying Chelsea fans. Uh, Happy New Year to you all, and thank you for joining me. My name is Paul James for this delayed off-tube match between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea. Let's begin with the two teams, starting with Nottingham Forest, who are managed by Steve Cooper. Dean Henderson in goal, Joe Worrell the captain, Serge Aurier, Willy Bolly and Renan Lodi make up the back four. Aurel Mangala, Ryan Yates and Remu Freuler make up the midfield, and Taiwo Awonyi, Morgan Gibbs-White and Brennan Johnson make up the Nottingham Forest side. For Chelsea, who are managed, of course, by Graham Potter, have Kepa Arrizabalaga covering in goal for the injured Edward Mendy, Thiago Silva, Kalidou Koulibaly, Cesar Azpilicueta, the captain, Mark Cucurella make up the back four, Jorginho, Mason Mount and Dennis Zakaria make up the midfield, with Christian Pulisic, Raheem Sterling and Kai Havertz making out the forward line. Substitutes starting with Nottingham Forest, Wayne Hennessy is the substitute goalkeeper, Steve Cook, Nico Williams, Harry Toffolo, Scott McKenna, Jack Colback, Lewis O'Brien, Sam Surridge and Emmanuel Dennis. For Chelsea, Marcus Bettinelli is the substitute goalkeeper, Trevor Chalobah, Mateo Kovacic, Hakim Ziyech is on the bench after his impressive performance for Morocco in the World Cup, Conor Gallagher, Carney Chukwuemeka, Omari Hutchinson, if he comes on, will make his Chelsea debut today. Lewis Hall and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang make up the substitutes for Chelsea. And our referee today is Peter Banks with his assistant Eddie Smart and Nick Greenhall. Fourth official is Graham Scott, Andre Mariner and Richard West are in the VAR booth today. Just a little look on Peter Banks, who's from Lancashire. He has refereed 15 games altogether this season in all competitions, including the Conference League, Premier League, Championship and League Cup. He has shown 64 yellow cards and 1 red card. The players will now gather at the centre of the field as we are going to remember the legend of legends in Pelé. What a great loss it is for football, a massive loss. But what a wonderful ambassador for the sport he was. And we will take a minute's applause here for the greatest of the greatest. A fantastic tribute at the City Ground, which is absolutely filled to capacity today for the only man to win the World Cup 3 times, and a man who absolutely transcended the sport. And may Pele rest in peace. And the captains now gather together at the centre circle. Nottingham Forest in their famous red shirts, white shorts, and red socks. Chelsea will be wearing their traditional colours of blue shorts, white shirts. Sorry, blue shirts, white shorts, and blue socks. Well, the referee now just gathering the players together for the centre circle. We're about to get underway very shortly here. There's Steve Cooper. Well, he's done a tremendous job. Bottom of the table when Steve Cooper took over. Just an amazing performance he took when he took over in the championship. 21st of September 2021 he took over, and he converted that season into one of the most successful seasons for Nottingham Forest. And Forest are going to get us underway, and they are going to be attacking the goal to our left, which I believe is the Trent end. It's unusual for them to do that in the first half, but they get the game underway now. And the long ball by Awonyi there. The ball goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea to be taken by Cesar Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta takes it quickly, looking for Havard. Looks like Havard handled it there, but it does go out of play for a throw-in to Nottingham Forest. And the throw-in's taken quickly, goes all the way back to Bolly. Bolly plays it across to Worrell. Worrell now. Midway inside his own half. Plays the ball long there, looking for Johnson, but that ball evades Johnson, goes all the way through to Kepa Arrizabalaga, debutising in goal for the injured Edward Mendy. Chelsea now with Cesar Azpilicueta, the captain. It goes all the way back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly. Silva now. Koulibaly. He's just patiently building up and plays it down this near side back to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta goes back to Koulibaly, and he goes all the way back to Kepa Arrizabalaga. And here's Thiago Silva now, and gives it to Azpilicueta. Infield there to the number 20 for Chelsea, Zakaria. Back to Koulibaly. Back to Zakaria. Infield to Thiago Silva. Chelsea just looking for ways to break down that Nottingham Forest defence. Plays the ball long. Does Koulibaly over onto the far side. There's a shot on goal by the number 19, Mason Mount. And it goes over the crossbar. That was an excellent ball by Koulibaly. Picked out Mason Mount. He had a little bit of space in the penalty area, but blew his shot wide of Henderson's left-hand post. And, be a goal kick now to Nottingham Forest, but that's the first warning shot fired across the bow there by Chelsea. It's picked up by Gibbs-White. He's dispossessed. Yates goes down as well under the challenge from Jorginho. It'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. And we are just 2 minutes into this one, and it is Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 0. And here's Ryan Yates. Yates plays the ball forward and just escapes everybody. Thiago Silva is covering Awonyi there, who was looking for that one. Thiago Silva cutting across, making the interception, gives it back to Arrizabalaga. And here's Azpilicueta. Jorginho. Azpilicueta. Zakaria, just turns away there, beautifully away. And, he just got away from Mangala there for a second, but Nottingham Forest do win the ball back. It's Morgan Gibbs-White. Almost loses it. Gets it back off Yates. Gibbs-White now moving forward. Plays the ball out to Johnson on the far side. He gets the cross in. It's away from Awonyi. And Arrizabalaga just plucks it out the air. And he will have possession of the ball now. Awonyi there, just a bit too high for the big man. It seems that he's playing in the centre forward position today. Let's see what he can do with that. And here's Aspilaqueta. Excuse me, Aspilaqueta. And here's Koulibaly. Mason Mount. Over on the far side to Cucurella. Mason Mount. Just picked up here by Pulisic. Gives it to Cucurella. Mason Mount. Koulibaly. He's got options up there with him. Koulibaly. Gives it down on this near side to Sterling. Sterling gives it back to Koulibaly. In the centre circle now is Thiago Silva. Just on the Forest side of that. Here's Cucurella. Pulisic. Back to Silva. Silva, long ball, looking for Pulisic. Just nodded away there. Good defending indeed by Bolly. And now Chelsea have the ball back with Zakaria. Zakaria plays the ball forward to Pulisic. And it's back now with Cucurella. Scrappy stuff a little bit here. But Chelsea just trying to get possession of the ball, keep possession of the ball. Koulibaly is Aspilaqueta. Back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly. Thiago Silva. Again, Chelsea just patient build up with the ball. No rush. Nottingham Forest have looking to maintain that strong defence. Here's Koulibaly. And Havertz just drops it off there to Jorginho. Jorginho to Silva. Koulibaly just plays the ball long on the far side to Sterling. Sterling's control let him down there. And it's cleared away by Mangala. Mangala, though, he only gets it as far as Koulibaly. And Chelsea win the ball back. But it's cleared out of play that time by Freuler. It's Koulibaly. Silva. Already early on, we're seeing that 77% possession for Chelsea. They are trying to maintain control as Koulibaly. Koulibaly's ball is a disappointing one. It rebounds off the head of Morgan Gibbs-White. And it actually goes all the way back to Kepa Arrizabalaga. Despite the possession so far, Chelsea haven't really created a great deal. Here's Koulibaly again. He's almost been acting like a quarterback in this first half. Cucurella. And here's Jorginho. Back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly plays the ball forward. And here's Jorginho. Good ball out on this near side to Sterling. What can he do with it? Sterling plays it across and a shot there by Mount is blocked. And it just flies into the air and is plucked out of the air by Dean Henderson. And that move breaks down for Chelsea. Raheem Sterling there. Just gave the ball to Mason Mount. Just got the shot away and it was blocked. Blocked there by Joe Worrell. And Nottingham Forest have the ball with Dean Henderson. Henderson throws it out on the far side. And it's Lodi. And it's played the ball forward now. Here's Yates. Yates has got a bit of space in front of him. He's also got Johnson with him. He seems to be being taken towards the corner flag, but he plays it off Cucurella. It's going to be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest, level with the Chelsea penalty area. And it's going to be taken by Serge Aurier. And here's Gibbs-White just inside the Chelsea penalty area. It's Yates. Yates tries to lay it off back to White, but the ball was a bit away from Gibbs-White there. And it's going to be a goal kick. So you are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget you can reach us on our Twitter page at Commentary Live 1 and at Facebook, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. Here's Koulibaly. Inside his own half, he plays the ball long. He's looking for Pulisic, but that's good work at the back by Serge Aurier, who just gets it back to the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. 8.5 minutes gone here. City Ground. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 0. And so far, all the possession really has laid with Chelsea, they've not done a great deal with it. And the ball is played forward there by Bolly. Jorginho intercepts that. And here's Thiago Silva. Silva back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly down on this near side to Cesar Azpilicueta. Back to Koulibaly. Thiago Silva. And Thiago Silva, he plays a long ball over on the far side. Here's Havertz. Havertz just fails to take the ball down well. Oh, that was such a wonderful ball by Silva. And now Forrester on the break. Johnson, it skips White in here. Good save. Oh, and that's the first time either goalkeeper has been called into action here. And it was Johnson, as a matter of fact, that got inside the Chelsea defence. And Nottingham Forest, who barely had possession of the ball, got an opportunity there, and it was a good save by Arrizabalaga. Brennan Johnson getting inside the Chelsea defence there, and very, very close to an early lead for Nottingham Forest. Here's Koulibaly. Koulibaly. Back to Thiago Silva. Here's Pulisic. Back to Koulibaly. Azpilicueta. Sterling. Just level with the Nottingham Forest penalty area. He was dispossessed comfortably by Bolly there. And here's a Awoniyi body check surely by Koulibaly. There was no question about that. Now, is the referee going to show a yellow card here? He's actually choosing not to do that. But that was, in my opinion, a blatant body check. And, of course, he was away, really, was Awoniyi. And I think Koulibaly was lucky to get away with that one. And this is a chance. And Johnson just got inside, beat the two defenders, Thiago and Cucurella, for pace. Got the shot away. It just wasn't enough to beat Arrizabalaga, though. Good save down to his right-hand side. And a double save, really. And Nottingham Forest will get the game back underway from that free kick. And here's Bolly. Bolly gives it back to Joe Worrell. Back to Dean Henderson. Henderson back to Worrell. Here's Aurier. Aurier plays the ball forward, and Gibbs White now just trying to close down Thiago Silva, but good pressure, good work by Silva, just ushers it back to Arrizabalaga. And here's Cucurella now. And Thiago Silva just gives the ball to Mason Mount, who knocks it back to Thiago Silva. Well, Nottingham Forest, despite the amount of money that they've spent, are inside the relegation zone. 42.5 million spent on Emmanuel Dennis. On Morgan Gibbs White. Emmanuel Dennis has 20 million. And other big signings include Taiwo Awoniyi for 17.2 million from Union Berlin, and Nico Williams 17 million from Liverpool. They will be the highest paid team that gets relegated if Forest do go down this season in Premier League history. Just to give you a view of the head-to-head, both of these sides on the head-to-head, Forest have won 26, Chelsea have won 40, and drawn 28. The first meeting took place on October 6, 1906, and Nottingham Forest beat Chelsea 3-1 in League Division 2. 24,000 was there that day. Forest, of course, have won 6 out of the first 7 meetings between the two teams. Unfortunately, the most recently has not been a good time for Nottingham Forest. They've only won 2 out of the last 12 meetings in all competitions against the Blues. You're not missing much. Here's Koulibaly, centre of the park. And he gives it to Thiago Silva. Silva gives it to Pulisic. Pulisic gets the ball back off Silva as Chelsea once again trying to create something. Here's Pulisic to Azpilicueta. Back to Christian Pulisic. He gives the ball to Mason Mount. Mount Down this near side to Aspilaqueta, to Mount. Mount's ball is a disappointing one and comfortably dealt with by Bolly. And here's a Wonyi now on the break for Nottingham Forest. What can he do with it? Oh, he just scuttles by Koulibaly. And Wonyi plays the ball into the middle. But that's a good piece of defending by Silva, able to intercept that. But a Wonyi looking dangerous, moving forward. And moving forward now is Pulisic now on the break for Chelsea. Here's Sterling over on the far side to Cucurella. Cucurella pulls it back to Sterling. Sterling, bit of space on the edge of the penalty area. And Sterling just loses it to Ryan Yates there. And now Forest can counter. Here's Johnson over the halfway line. Johnson tries to get away from Thiago Silva. He gets across and it's back to Morgan Gibbs White with a shot, but it's blocked. Great block that time. And it looks like it was Mount there with a block. Here's Pulisic. And here's Koulibaly. Kai Havertz. Koulibaly. Thiago Silva. Silva, Mount. Cucurella. 15 minutes gone here. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 0. Mount plays the ball forward there looking for Pulisic. Pulisic by the corner flag. He's got Joe Worrell for company. Pulisic swings across in and it's just knocked. Oh, it's in! It's a goal! Well, it just bounced off the top of the crossbar from Kai Havertz, and I thought that was going over. It looked like it took took the knock off Kai Havertz, and it seemed to loop up high in the air. It bounced on top of the crossbar, and there was Raheem Sterling to knock the ball into the net. Well, let's just take a look at this again. You can see, first of all, the cross comes in. Kai Havertz is lurking around there. Comes in. Havertz flicks it with his foot. It looked like it was going over. Instead, it just bounces on top of the crossbar and then lands to Raheem Sterling, who's completely unmarked in the 18-yard box. And it's just a simple tap into the net, really. And Chelsea take a sort of bizarre one-goal lead. And it just looked like it was going even over and away from the goal. And then it just stopped and dropped onto the crossbar. And then it fooled the Nottingham Forest defence. They were expecting that to be going well over and wide. But Raheem Sterling was waiting, and he was there to just knock the ball in the net. And it's Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1 after just 17 minutes. Well, it's first real chance on goal for Chelsea, and they get the lead. And here's Aurier. And here's Johnson, and he loses the ball. It goes out of play. Well, and Nottingham Forest, of course, whenever they've gone 1-0 down, have not scored a single goal. And this is, at this point now for Nottingham Forest, is very ominous. They need to change that today. Here's Cucurella. They may consider themselves unlucky with that goal, because this is the kind of luck you get when you're at the bottom of the league, because that just seemed to just loop off Kai Havertz, and it just seemed to be going away and wide, and then it just stopped and dropped. And then there, of course, was Raheem Sterling to gobble up the rebound. And here's Cucurella. Thiago Silva. Koulibaly. Aspilaqueta. Koulibaly. Excuse me. Thiago Silva. Koulibaly. Aspilaqueta. Chelsea again. Happy to keep possession, patiently building up. Just passing the ball around, looking to perhaps draw some of those Nottingham Forest players out of position. Ball was a bit of a long one to Raheem Sterling. He was almost dispossessed. Havertz just heads the ball on to Sterling, who is offside. And it'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Raheem Sterling then, the goal scorer. Dean Henderson now gives the ball to Yates. Yates to Serge Aurier. Aurier being put under pressure by Pulisic. He knocks the ball off Pulisic and out of play. It's going to be a throw into Nottingham Forest. And we just again look at this. Just so unusual. The way that ball just flicked off there and it just landed on top of the crossbars. I'm just looking at this again. It actually might have come off Bolly and not Havertz. But regardless, it just landed on the face of the crossbar and perfectly fell for Raheem Sterling. And here's Aurier now for Nottingham Forest. Aurier trying to bundle his way through the Chelsea defence, but he loses control of it and it goes behind for a goal kick to Chelsea. And here's Koulibaly. Koulibaly back to Thiago Silva, to Cucurella. Cucurella to Koulibaly. Koulibaly now just over the halfway line. You are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. And you can also follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. And you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. As there is a foul on Christian Pulisic here by Ryan Yates. And it will be a free kick just inside the Nottingham Forest half of the field. And we're just looking at the Ivorian international, David Fofana. He will become Graham Potter's first signing since becoming Chelsea manager in September. The pre-agreement has been made with the Norwegian side Molde for the signing of David Fofana. The ball is lunged long into the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Clearing up at the back there is Lodi, and it goes behind off Havertz for a goal kick. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1. 21 and a half minutes gone here. And it's picked up here by Jorginho. And Jorginho now has the ball. Let's see what he can do with it. Jorginho cuts inside the penalty area. He gets the cross in. It's bouncing around there. And Kai Havertz tries to get the shot, but it's blocked by Bolly. And Bolly again will try to just knock the ball away from Havertz, but he only succeeds in conceding a corner. Chelsea's first corner of the game. Kai Havertz just trying to make a nuisance of himself inside the Nottingham Forest penalty area. Of course, he is the leading scorer for Chelsea with 4 goals this season. He's also picked up 1 assist in the Premier League as well. Corner to be taken by Raheem Sterling. Peter Banks just making sure that everything's in order before he allows this corner to be taken. Insisting that Serge Aurier remain where he is. And Raheem Sterling now will probably in-swing this one. Indeed he does. The header is there by Koulibaly, but Ryan Yates, Joe Worrell beats him in the air for that. And it goes out of play for a throw into Chelsea. Level with the Nottingham Forest penalty area. And it's going to be taken by Cesar Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta gives it to Havertz. Back to Azpilicueta. And to Sterling. Sterling now just trying to get the better of Freuler, but he's not been successful. And it's going to be a throw-in now again. Azpilicueta takes it quickly, but again knocked out of play by Freuler. Azpilicueta once again will try again with the throw-in, and it's back with Sterling. Sterling gives it to Koulibaly, but Koulibaly is dispossessed. And the ball is played forward there, but there's nobody there for Nottingham Forest, and Chelsea just get possession back again. And right now, I feel that Nottingham Forest just need to put their foot on the ball and keep a bit of possession. Here's Zakaria. Zakaria gives the ball to Thiago Silva. Back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly. Again, just looking for options. What has he got available? Gives it to Thiago Silva. And Nottingham Forest, you can already hear the fans here at the City Ground just already not happy with the way the progress that Nottingham Forest are making so far. And here's Havertz. He gives the ball to Mount, who gives it to Sterling. Sterling. Back to Koulibaly. And here is Jorginho. Jorginho. What options has he got? He's got Azpilicueta down this side. Cuts inside away from Awoniyi. And here is Sterling. Sterling. Back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly back to Zakaria. Zakaria there, was he fouled? The referee says no, and there's something going on between there. Here's Lodi. Lodi is now under pressure. He's going backwards now. He was going forwards. He just wasn't able to find anybody up there with him. In the end, he goes all the way back to Dean Henderson, who clears it downfield. It's then nodded out of play by Zakaria. Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1, 25 minutes gone. Throw in to be taken quickly by Lodi. Awoniyi now just trying to get the ball under control, but he's under pressure there by Jorginho and Thiago Silva, and the ball goes out of play. And throw in to be taken by Lodi. Lodi takes it quickly, gives it to Awoniyi. Awoniyi's got Morgan Gibbs-White there with him. And Morgan Gibbs-White's pass is away from Brennan Johnson, and it's just cleared out of play by Kalidou Koulibaly. Throw in to Chelsea, level with their own penalty area, taken by Azpilicueta. Koulibaly gives it back to Azpilicueta as he plays the ball forward now. It's picked up by Sterling, midway inside his own half. He gives it away to Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White goes down under pressure by Sterling, and it is a free kick to Nottingham Forest right on the corner of the Chelsea penalty area. And you see here now, Morgan Gibbs-White just under pressure from Sterling. Perhaps he goes down a little easy, but it will be a free kick. It's enough for Peter Banks to give the free kick to Nottingham Forest right on the corner of the Chelsea penalty area. Let's see what Nottingham Forest can produce here. Well, it's just on the corner, maybe 2 or 3 yards out. This is a very dangerous position, and let's see what Nottingham Forest can create from this. Morgan Gibbs-White is over it. Azpilicueta just trying to organise it. Arrizabalaga just trying to organise his wall. Chelsea got their entire team really within 16 yards of their goal, and there's Gibbs-White over it, and there's also Lodi over it as well, but Peter Banks has spotted some pushing and shoving in the penalty area, and he's not going to allow this free kick to be taken just yet. So is it going to be Lodi or Morgan Gibbs-White? Lodi moves away from it. It's Morgan Gibbs-White, swings it in. It's headed away by Cucurella. And there's been some there's been some interference in the penalty area, and the referee has in fact given the free kick to Chelsea inside their own penalty area. Now, when I look at this situation for Nottingham Forest, they really have been, in terms of possession, they've just not been able to really get inside the Chelsea half of the field enough. They've not been able to put any pressure hardly on this Chelsea defence, despite the one chance by Brennan Johnson earlier on in the game. Here's Koulibaly. Koulibaly plays it forward, but it's comfortably won by Lodi, who gives it back to Bolly. And he goes all the way back to Dean Henderson. Henderson right-footed downfield. And it's a foul there by Awoniyi on Koulibaly, and it will be a free kick. 74% possession for Chelsea in this first half. And Morgan Gibbs-White is trying to kick the ball back. Koulibaly's not having it. And Peter Banks is telling him to take the free kick from where the foul took place. And Koulibaly eventually takes it. And he gives it down to Azpilicueta down this right-hand side. Kai Havertz under pressure. Gives the ball there to Zakaria, who gives it to Raheem Sterling and back to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta goes all the way back to Koulibaly, who in turn goes all the way back to Kepa Arrizabalaga, forced into really only one save in this first half. Chances have been a premium by both sides, to be honest. Despite the one-goal lead for Chelsea, really they haven't created much, as neither has Forest. It's been one of those, one for the purists, as one might say. Here's Mason Mount now. He gives the ball to Pulisic. Pulisic, can he cut inside the penalty area? Let's see what he can do. Pulisic is looking for options. He gives it to Cucurella. Pulisic again, trying to just beat two Nottingham Forest players there. He's not been successful. And Ryan Yates wins the ball back. And he plays the ball long now, looking for the speedy Johnson. But clearing up at the back there is Thiago. And the referee, the linesman, has determined a foul. And Thiago Silva is down. I think Thiago Silva is looking to get away with that one. There didn't appear to be a lot in that. But the assistant has given it as a foul. Well, you can see the pass there by Yates. He's chasing down Thiago Silva. Looks like he may have even won the ball there, Johnson. A little bit harsh perhaps for him, but it will be a free kick. And the ball is now out of play. And the referee, something has just happened there with Kai Havertz off camera. Not sure what that was. But it's going to be, looks like it's going to be free kick to Nottingham Forest just inside their own half. It's Lodi to Bolly. Bolly gives it to Worrell, and Worrell goes back to Dean Henderson as Nottingham Forest now are going to have to try to put some pressure on this Chelsea defence. Dean Henderson plays the ball long, looking for a Wonyi, but it's knocked out of play, in fact, by Azpilicueta. It's going to be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. And here is Mangala. And the ball, Mangala gives it to Worrell, and Worrell knocks the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea, which Azpilicueta will take. Azpilicueta just tries to pull away there, and Havertz just wins the ball back inside his own half. Good ball by Havertz to Cucurella. Cucurella has got Pulisic up there with him. Mount, Havertz and Sterling all racing into the penalty area. What can Chelsea create here? And in decision, Pulisic decides to go back to Koulibaly, and Koulibaly gives it to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta back to Koulibaly. As Chelsea at the moment just happy to keep possession right now, just knock the ball around, not really create much. And this must be very frustrating for as a neutral to watch it is, but also as a Nottingham Forest fan, it must be incredibly frustrating. Here's Sterling. Here's Cucurella. Cucurella gives the ball to Mason Mount. And he's fouled there by Ryan Yates, and it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea. Cucurella gives it to Pulisic, and you can hear the angry noises coming from the crowd at the moment. Nottingham Forest fans are not happy with this. And they want to see more of an effort from their team in winning the ball back. Well, they do get the ball back now. And here's Johnson. Is he fouled there? There's on that in the Brian Clough stand across there. The fans are on their feet. Surely the referee, and he hasn't given the foul. Well, that's incredible. That was a blatant foul. Here's Raheem Sterling. And here is Azpilicueta. Gives it back to Koulibaly. And Koulibaly again. And the ball is played out to Cesar Azpilicueta. Knocked on by Sterling, looking for Zakaria. Zakaria. He's still got it. Zakaria Gives it back to Aspilaqueta. Back to Zakaria. Aspilaqueta to Kai Havertz. Havertz tried to find Jorginho. Was he fouled? Peter Banks says no. And Forest can break away now. But the ball from Yates is a disappointing one. Looking for Johnson, but Cucurella picked it up quite easily. And he goes all the way back to Arrizabalaga. And here's Koulibaly. And Thiago Silva just plays the ball long over on the far side to Aspilaqueta. And with 10 minutes to go till half time, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1. And I'm just going to update you with some scores in a moment here. Here's Koulibaly. He gives it to Thiago Silva. Silva to Aspilaqueta, just trying to get over the halfway line. Back to Koulibaly. And here's Thiago Silva. So we'll just take a look at some scores here. Earlier on in the Premier League, earlier today, was Tottenham 0, Aston Villa 2. Goals from Buendia and Douglas Luiz were the difference. And in the Sky Bet Championship, it was Blackburn Rovers 1, Cardiff 0. Blackpool 1, Sunderland 1. Coventry City 1, Bristol City 1. Huddersfield 1, Luton 0, and Millwall 3, Rotherham 0. Well, there's a foul here on Koulibaly, and it is just inside the Nottingham Forest half of the field. It'd be a free kick to Chelsea. Steve Cooper just wondering now how he's going to get his side back into this game. Here's Cucurella. Cucurella to Havertz. Back to Cucurella. Pulisic. He's got Mason Mount, Havertz, and Jorginho alongside him. He gives it to Mason Mount and gives it back to Koulibaly. Koulibaly launches the ball forward, and Pulisic then was just a bit too far from him, and it goes harmlessly through to Dean Henderson. So as we approach 9 minutes to go till half time, let's see what Nottingham Forest can do. Johnson gives the ball away, and he's fouled this time, and the anonymous cheer, a massive cheer from the fans in the Brian Clough stand. They finally got a free kick going their way. So the free kick is just inside the Nottingham Forest half, which Joe Worrell will take. And he plays the ball long, and he's looking for a 1-2, but it's comfortably won by Thiago Silva. And now here's Havertz as Chelsea go on the break. It's Aspilaqueta. Aspilaqueta infield. The ball was a disappointing one to Sterling, and Chelsea win it back now. Nottingham Forest win it back with Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White, though, stopped by Thiago Silva that time. And here's Raheem Sterling now. He goes down easily there, and he actually wins a free kick for the foul by Mangala. And, well, Sterling lost possession there. Morgan Gibbs-White. It's a good challenge by Thiago Silva to stop Morgan Gibbs-White in his tracks there. And Thiago Silva being impressive in this first half. And his Cucurella, he goes all the way back to Kepa Arrizabalaga. And here is Thiago Silva now. Silva plays the ball forward. It's Jorginho. Jorginho out on the far side to Pulisic. Pulisic knocks it back to Silva. 7 minutes to go till half time. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1. And here's Aspilaqueta. And Aspilaqueta goes all the way back to Koulibaly. As Chelsea once again happy just to keep possession and just knock the ball around, hoping to drag some of these Nottingham Forest players out of position to create some opportunities. Here's Cucurella. Pulisic. What can he do with it? Gives it to Zakaria. Zakaria back to Cucurella. Pulisic. And here is Jorginho. Chelsea again back on the halfway line with Koulibaly. And here's Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva plays the ball out on the far side to Pulisic. Let's see what the Pulisic gives the ball to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta with a shot. It's deflected. Looks like it just come off Lodi. It's going to be a corner to Chelsea. Really only their second of the game, despite all the possession that they've had. They really haven't threatened enough themselves. And that came off Lodi. It'll be a corner to Chelsea. And on 5 minutes to go to half-time, Raheem Sterling will just take all the time in the world and wander over to take it. And the fans are not pleased. Actually, it's now going to be Mason Mount that's going to go over to take it, in fact. And Mason Mount being booed by the home crowd as he was a former Derby loanee. That is enough here at the City Ground. And the corner comes in and it's just flicked away. And it's picked up by Christian Pulisic. And just knocked away there. It was a poor corner. But Chelsea don't seem to mind that. Sterling just gives the ball to Jorginho. Chelsea themselves have only had 2 shots on target. Well, really, yes, the only shot on target actually is the Sterling goal. So that Chelsea have only had 1 shot on target themselves. Nottingham Forest have only had 2 shots on target with the double save from Brennan Johnson. It really has been lacking real quality in this game. Chelsea, of course, have been quite happy to keep possession. Nottingham Forest really haven't pressed enough in this first half, in my opinion, to really mess Chelsea's style of play, if you will. And here's Pulisic. Pulisic plays the ball forward. It's intercepted by Yates and just knocked away by Aurier. Chelsea win the ball back. That's a foul by Yates on Zakaria. Zakaria just letting Yates know about it. Yates just letting him know that he doesn't care. And there is a certain feistiness to this game, sort of simmering under the surface. A couple of times where the teams have come together in this first half. And Yates will, in fact, pick up the game's first yellow card for that foul on Zakaria. So, first yellow card goes to Nottingham Forest and Ryan Yates. And you can see here it was a blatant foul. I mean, he's climbing all over him. He's making no attempt to win the ball. Yeah. And Zakaria almost with his fists there. Ryan Yates doesn't care. He's getting up in his face as well. And to be honest with you, it's handbags, really. Both players just need to calm down and get on with the game. Free kick to be taken now. It's launched forward, looking for Havertz. Havertz takes the ball down. It's a poor touch. It eventually bounces to Koulibaly and then back to Pulisic, whose shot is weak to say the least. But that is Chelsea's best chance since the goal. And the shot was weak and it was a comfortable save by Dean Henderson. But it was a very high line by Nottingham Forest. It was played in there. Havertz just failed to control it properly. The ball bounced around, found Koulibaly, and then Pulisic's shot was a weak one and a comfortable save in the end. Probably counts as a shot on goal, though. And here is Freuler to Yates. Yates on the far side to Serge Aurier. What can Aurier do with this? He gets across him, but it's a disappointing one. And it's comfortably cleared away by Thiago Silva. It will be a throw into Nottingham Forest, so level with the Chelsea penalty area. Well, we've got about a minute and a half to go in this first half. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White, just tries to get the ball away from Cucurella, but he only succeeds in knocking the ball behind for a goal kick. Well, Nottingham Forest now. I don't see a way back into this game for them on the way that they're playing. They really are going to have to try to press Chelsea a little bit, get them out of their comfort zone, because at the moment, Chelsea just seem quite comfortable in just keeping possession, passing the ball around, but they're under no pressure really from the Nottingham Forest players, no press at all to make it uncomfortable for Chelsea. And here's Koulibaly. Koulibaly gives it to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva to Cucurella. It's inside their own penalty area now for Chelsea, and they find Azpilicueta back to Arrizabalaga, and his clearance is a poor one. And Nottingham Forest just win the ball back for a moment, but Thiago Silva just clears that ball downfield as we just wait and see how long, how much stoppage time our fourth official, Graham Scott, is going to announce. We're almost at that stage now. And Graham Potter looking fairly comfortable at the moment, as are the rest of his Chelsea side. Cesar Azpilicueta has the throw-in now, and he gives it to Sterling, whose return pass to Azpilicueta is disappointing. We are going to have 1 minute stoppage time. I personally didn't think there'd be much more than that, because it's been a fairly free-flowing game. Just really the goal was the only real major stoppage. And here's Jorginho. Jorginho gives it to Cucurella. Cucurella's got options in front of him. Surprise, he decides to go back. And here is Azpilicueta and Thiago Silva. Zakaria goes back to Koulibaly. As Chelsea just feeling very comfortable right now. Thiago Silva. Almost played the minute stoppage time. Peter Banks will probably blow his whistle any moment now. He just takes a look at his watch, and that is the half-time whistle. And, well, it's really lacked quality in this game. It's lacked chances. It's lacked entertainment. Chelsea been more than happy just to keep a hold of the ball. Only one real chance for Nottingham Forest, which Brennan Johnson got behind the Nottingham Forest defence, forcing 2 saves from Arrizabalaga. The goal came on 16 minutes, a rather bizarre goal that seemed to deflect off volley onto the face of the crossbar, which fell to Raheem Sterling, who was completely unmarked, and he just knocked the ball past Dean Henderson. Since then, there's not really been much for either side, and at half-time at the City Ground, it is Nottingham Forest 0, Chelsea 1. You've been listening to the Commentary Hub. Welcome back to the start of the second half of this delayed coverage of the Premier League match between Nottingham Forest and Chelsea. Second half about to get underway very shortly. Doesn't look like there have been any changes from either side. Of course, for Chelsea, they haven't really needed to. They've very much controlled this game, really from start to finish, and there's just not been enough press in my mind from this Nottingham Forest side, but they're out on the field now. Steve Cooper has taken his position on the bench, and we will be getting this second half underway here very shortly. There's Thiago Silva, and just yeah, it doesn't look like either there now. We're going to either side has made any changes, so we're going to get this second half back underway, and I'll run through the teams again for you in just a moment. Chelsea will now be attacking the goal to our left at the Trent end, and we are back underway here now. So just I'll run through the sides for you quickly. For Forest, Henderson, Lodi, Bolly, Worrell and Aurier. Mangala, Freuler and Yates. Gibbs-White, Awonyi and Johnson. For Chelsea, Arrizabalaga, Aspilicueta, Koulibaly, Silva, Cucurella, Zakaria, Jorginho, Mount, Sterling, Havertz and Pulisic. And here is Aurier. And here's Worrell. Worrell gives it to Serge Aurier now for Nottingham Forest. And he just plays it inside to Ryan Yates. Yates over on the far side there to Lodi. Lodi, long ball, looking for Tyrell Awonyi. Awonyi in front of Koulibaly. He just knocks the ball back to Gibbs-White. And it just goes back there now. Mangala will pick up the ball. Mangala. Here's Joe Worrell. And it's back with Bolly to Worrell. Worrell back down here to Serge Aurier. And Yates just plays the ball forward to Mangala. And here's an opportunity now for Freuler. Here's a chance now for Awonyi with a shot. And it's a comfortable save in the end by Arrizabalaga. But that's the first real chance that Nottingham Forest have had in quite some time. And it was a nice pass by Freuler. It was just away from Awonyi. The angle was a bit difficult for him. He was able to get the shot on goal though, and it's not much, but it'll let's see if it'll perk up Nottingham Forest a little bit. And here's Morgan Gibbs-White now, and he gets across him, but there's nobody there in the penalty area, and it's headed back by Thiago Silva to Arrizabalaga, who just about kept it in apparently, despite the protests from the Nottingham Forest fans. And it's back with Arrizabalaga now. And he plays the ball down this near side to Cucurella. Cucurella just knocks it onto Mason Mount. Mount has got space. He's got Pulisic up there with him. Pulisic now. Pulisic just, is he fouled there? The referee, Peter Banks, says yes. A foul by Serge Aurier. And it's going to be a free kick to Chelsea in quite a dangerous position. Pulisic, was he fouled by Aurier? I don't think you can argue with that. That's a free kick. And it'll be right at the corner of the penalty area as Chelsea will load men into the penalty area. Pulisic is there. Sterling is there. Havertz is there. Koulibaly is there. The usual suspects. And it looks like it's going to be swung in by Mason Mount. There's one man in the wall there, Morgan Gibbs-White. And it's swung in by Mount and just headed away by Bolly. Cucurella just gets it back to Mount. Mount just flicks the ball in, but there's Yates and some confusion. And Pulisic almost comes away with it, but Nottingham Forest do maintain possession. Here's Johnson. And it's Johnson now is away. What can he do? He's got a 1 year in the middle. And he goes for the shot. It might have been better squaring it. But he forces a save from Ariza Balaga. Here's Mangala now. Mangala gives it back to White. And Morgan Gibbs White, rather. His cross is miserable that second time. But Johnson was away. And he had a completely unmarked Taiwo Awonyi in the middle. But it was an awkward angle. I don't really believe he was going to beat Ariza Balaga from there. The goalkeeper made the save, of course. It's, he may well have decided to shoot simply because of Thiago Silva's positioning there. He might have felt that a cross would have been blocked by Thiago Silva. But it's a comfortable save by Ariza Balaga in the end. And... well, that's the second time now Nottingham Forest have been able to just get inside the Chelsea defence. They're starting to ask some questions. And the ball is played forward here. And here is Havertz under pressure from Freuler. And Nottingham Forest win the ball back with Awonyi. And he's inside the penalty area. He tries to get the cross and it's blocked. Awonyi gets the ball back and he gives it to Mangala. The cross comes in. It's headed away, this time by Thiago Silva. But Nottingham Forest now just started to turn the screws a bit. Here is Serge Aurier. Aurier just gives it to Yates. He's under pressure. He's dispossessed, so as Chelsea now breaking forward with Christian Pulisic. Pulisic now. Good work defensively by Freuler. But Freuler was deemed to have fouled him. And Freuler doesn't agree with that. Neither do the Nottingham Forest fans. And Cucurella tries to get in the way of this. And, well, to be honest with you, it's really nothing to do with Cucurella. But he decided to get involved with this. And it's definitely a foul by Freuler. There's no doubt about that. Mason Mount is over this one. In fact, it's taken by Cucurella and handed to Mason Mount. Cucurella gets the ball back. And it's back with Koulibaly. Koulibaly goes all the way back to Ariza Balaga. So, hope for Nottingham Forest really in the chances that they've created at the start of this second half. Let's see if they can build on that. Here's Thiago Silva. Koulibaly. Out on the far side to Zakaria. And it's forward by Azpilicueta. And it's won back though by Nottingham Forest there. And it looks like there's been a foul on Awonyi and it'll be a free kick. Well, perhaps the referee might have played advantage there. But the free kick now has been brought back and it's been taken quickly. And here's Serge Aurier. Aurier just plays the ball forward looking for Gibbs White, who's almost lost it, but it's won back by Ryan Yates, who gives it to Joe Worrell. And Worrell goes back to Dean Henderson inside the Nottingham Forest goal. Here's Bolly. Mangala back to Bolly. Oh, that's a foul there on Lodi, surely. It's going to be a yellow card coming out now. And we'll just... to see, it looks like it's on Azpilicueta. Yes, indeed it is. And he's the first Chelsea player to go in the book today. Just take a look at this for the foul on Lodi. Yes, with the toe there, that would have been quite painful. And free kick now to Nottingham Forest. It's going to be taken by Lodi himself. He's looking for options. And he plays the ball long. It's a high line by Chelsea, just headed away by Thiago Silva. Cucurella just picking up the pieces and he knocks the ball out of play. It's going to be a throw into Nottingham Forest. And Lodi just tries to skip inside the Forest defence. Awonyi wins the ball back. Awonyi back back to Mangala, and it's picked up here by Johnson. Johnson gives it to Worrell, and here's Morgan Gibbs-White. He plays the ball infield to Johnson. Johnson, nice ball out to Yates. Let's see what he can do. Yates gets the ball across, and here's a chance. Oh, on the side of the crossbar from Gibbs-White. Oh, what an effort on goal, and how unlucky. Oh, well, the referee said it didn't cross the line. Joe Worrell wins the header back again, and it's cleared away once more by Jorginho. And now Chelsea just clear the ball into the Nottingham Forest half. But what an opportunity by Morgan Gibbs-White, and how unlucky. Well, the ball came across there by Yates. It was he struck it from the edge of the penalty area, and it just hit the underside of the crossbar. It wasn't even on the line in the end, but how unlucky for Nottingham Forest. But this is what happens. The fine margins go against you when you're near the bottom of the league. But what a strike that was, and what a goal it would have been. Free kick to Nottingham Forest here now. Taken by Lodi. He plays the ball forward. And and here's a chance now for Bolly. He's inside the penalty area. Bolly back heels it. And it comes back to Gibbs-White again. He strikes a shot. This time it's blocked. And Gibbs-White, though, has it again in the penalty area. Gets the cross in. On the far side is Aurier. And his volley is over the crossbar. But this is much better in the second half from Nottingham Forest. Much more pressing, putting this Chelsea defence under pressure, and they are struggling to handle them. And it started with a block there. The block was from Aspilicueta, and the cross came in there, and Aurier was ghosting in at the back post, but his volley was way off target. Steve Cooper trying to encourage the fans, to get the fans on their feet. And it's a goal kick here for Arrizabalaga, and Chelsea will want to slow this game down again. Arrizabalaga, right-footed. He didn't even get it to the halfway line. And it goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Nottingham Forest. Not the best goal kick from Arrizabalaga. And it's going to be taken by Lodi. Well, and Freuler. His pass was wayward, and Chelsea bring the ball forward now, and here's Pulisic. Pulisic trying to dance his way inside the Nottingham Forest defence. He wasn't successful. Couldn't get past Bolly, but the ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Chelsea. Chelsea have the throw-in here. It's Cucurella. He's going to take it. Well, it's been much better from Forest in the second half, but they've hit the crossbar. They've forced some saves from Arrizabalaga. They've shown that they can get inside this Chelsea defence, and they have to try to maintain this kind of pressure for the rest of the second half if they want to try to get back into this game or maybe win it. Here's Havertz. Havertz under pressure by two Forest defenders, Bolly being one of them. Aurier tried to claim that the ball had gone out of play off a Chelsea player last, and the linesman agrees with him. It will be a throw in to Nottingham Forest, and Serge Aurier will take it. And it's just headed on by Jorginho. Aurier again, this time with the header. Awonyu just trying to hold the ball up. The big man is brought down that time. This time by Koulibaly. And it's going to be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. And, well, looks like we may be seeing some changes for Chelsea. There is some activity taking place on the Chelsea bench. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. It's taken quickly by Aurier, launched into the Chelsea penalty area. But there is Koulibaly to just hack the ball away. And it's going to be a throw-in to Nottingham Forest, midway inside the Chelsea half. It's taken quickly. We appear to have two balls on the pitch right now. Lodi gets the cross in, and Arrizabalaga just comes out and claims that one. and puts an end to the latest Nottingham Forest onslaught. So it looks like it's Kovacic who is coming on. He is just prepping himself now. And here's Cucurella now for Chelsea. And it's picked up of Nottingham Forest have won the ball back here. Here's Yates dispossessing Mount, and Mount fouls him, and it'll be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. And Yates just having a word in the referee's ear, perhaps suggesting that further action should be taken. And again, the Nottingham Forest fans chant Derby reject. Simply being a loney at Derby is enough for them to turn on Mason Mount. 5 second half attempts by Nottingham Forest, almost twice as many in the entire first half. The cross comes in, and it's almost tried to be won there. And there's a shot by Aurier, and it'll be a free kick. Looks like it might be offside. So the change may be made at this point here now, as we just look again at Morgan Gibbs-White's shot that smashed against the crossbar, the underside of the crossbar. Beautiful strike. It really was a beautiful strike. Yeah. And it's going to be, we're just waiting to see now. There's some delay with this substitution. It's going to be Kovacic that's coming on, and it's Zakaria who is going off. So Kovacic is on, and Denny Zakaria is off. So that's the first substitution of the game, and given the way the second half has started, it's a quick reaction by Graham Potter. And Chelsea have the ball here now with Kai Havertz, and the ball goes out of play. Well, Havertz really has been quiet today for the most part. He's had a couple of touches in the penalty area where they've not been the best, but he's been heavily marked out of this game. Here's Nottingham Forest now with Morgan Gibbs-White. Tries to play it in field to a 1-year. It's just behind him, but it's won back here by Johnson, whose shot is blocked, and it goes behind for a corner. You can hear the Nottingham Forest fans now getting behind their team. And it was Johnson just saw the space of the goal there, but it's blocked by Aspilicueta. And Nottingham Forest will now have a corner to see if they can get themselves back into this game. It's actually their first corner of the game, and Morgan Gibbs-White has gone over to take it. A 1-year Johnson and Worrell, Bolly, Yates all making pains of themselves in that 6-yard box. And that is packed there right now, and it's going to be swung in. And there's a header away by Havertz, but not far enough. It's still in the penalty area. There's a chance, and it's a goal! It's put in! It's put in! And it's put in by it's put in by Mangala, or Serge Aurier rather, and it's Nottingham Forest a level. Well, they packed that 6-yard box when that corner came in. And it's Serge Aurier with a goal. Well, let's take a look at this again. It first comes in, the header from Havertz, but he doesn't get anywhere near enough projection on it. And it just goes straight into the air. And it's won back by Bolly, who heads it down to Aurier, who takes it down beautifully and just knocks it past Kepa Arrizabalaga. Beats the goalkeeper on his left-hand side. Beautifully took down. It's quite a nice finish, actually. And it's 1-1 right through the goalkeeper's legs, in fact. And it's Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1. And you have to say that this is nothing short of what Nottingham Forest deserve. Since the start of this second half, they've really put pressure on this Chelsea defence, and they deserve their equaliser. And here is Mason Mount now as he attempts to try to get Chelsea back in the lead. He plays it to Sterling. Sterling's got options in the penalty area. It's cleared away, but not far enough by Worrell. And Havertz is deemed to have fouled Ryan Yates, and it will be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Well, Nottingham Forest won, Chelsea won, and Steve Cooper is trying to encourage his team to keep the pressure on. And well, they might. That was unlucky. It just bounced away off Cucurella from Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson trying to have words with Cucurella. The linesman determined that it was a free kick anyway. And now Chelsea can break forward. It's picked up by Bolly. And here's Lodi. Lodi plays the ball forward. And chasing this one down is Awonyi. Good work by Koulibaly. He seems to be tight on Awonyi in this second half. And it's going to be a free kick for the foul on Azpilicueta by Mangala. Well, Graham Potter now. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Graham Potter now. Not looking quite as relaxed. And 7 attempts on goal without reply for Nottingham Forest. And they really have come out a different team in the second half. And here's Bolly. Bolly plays the ball forward. He's looking for Awonyi, who's muscling with Koulibaly. Awonyi holds the ball up well. And he gives the ball. Oh, it's a good tackle there on Lodi, actually. And Bolly gets the ball back, though, and it's back to Lodi. What can he do now? Lodi gets the cross in. Oh, it just escapes everybody and goes behind for a goal kick. Well, just a bit too far, a bit too high and long, that cross by Lodi. You are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. We're on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and Sterling is offside. Well, it's going to be a free kick for the offside, and Graham Potter now. Well, a draw is probably not going to help him. He needs wins as they are slipping further and further behind the top four. And looking at the table, you can see that Chelsea are in fact 7 points currently behind the top four. So they need to start getting wins. And it's played long now from that free kick. It's looking for Awonyi, but the ball just goes out of play. And it's going to be a free kick. Going to be a throw into Chelsea, which Azpilicueta will take. So these are Azpilicueta, the Chelsea captain. Defended very well today. He's got forward rather well too. And Azpilicueta just plays it forward. It's knocked on by Mason Mount. And here's Ryan Yates now for Forest. Ryan Yates goes back to Bolly. Bolly. 23 minutes gone. 23 minutes left in this one. It is 1-1. Second half equaliser by Serge Aurier. And here's Lodi. What can he do with it now, Lodi? Can he maybe gets the ball into Awonyi with a shot, but it's blocked. And it's just cleared away by Cucurella. Not really far enough, but it's helped along by Azpilicueta. And on that ball there. And Sterling is unable to control that. Goes out for a throw-in. Morgan Gibbs-White now. And it's Lodi again. He gets the cross in. It's not good enough this time. It's hacked away by Kovacic. And Chelsea win the ball back with Cucurella. Cucurella's got time and space. He's got Pulisic alongside him. He's got Kovacic with him. Kovacic, his ball is disappointing. He gets another bite at the cherry, and once again, it's a poor ball by Kovacic. And now here's Brennan Johnson for Nottingham Forest. Brennan Johnson is dispossessed by Cucurella, and Pulisic picks up the loose ball. Kovacic again. Let's see if you can do better with it this time. Kovacic. Gives it to Kai Havertz. Ball back with Jorginho, who gives it to Sterling. Sterling on the far side. He's got options up there with him, Sterling. Gives it to Kovacic. And it's back with Thiago. Back to Cucurella. And Chelsea finally, for the first time in this second half, are able to get their possession game going again. Here's Thiago and Cucurella. Cucurella. Ball is played across. It's a poor one. Couldn't find Havertz. It's hacked away by Bolly. Back into Chelsea's own half, but they'll pick up the ball now. Here's Kovacic looking for options. Gallagher and Ziyech seem to be preparing to come on for Chelsea as they give the ball away again, Chelsea. And here's Lodi. And he gives the ball to Bolly. Well, started this second half being quite dazzling by Nottingham Forest. They've got themselves a well-deserved equaliser. They're not going to want to take their foot off the gas now. Almost given away there, but quickly won back. And you can see the arguments amongst the players. And they're again having an argument, which Mason Mount and Freuler are getting into it with each other again. And the ball is played forward. And it's looking for a Wanyi, but Koulibaly just knocks the ball out of play. We may see these substitutions now. Not yet. Conor Gallagher and Hakim Ziyech are preparing to come on. They're waiting there. Here we go. We are going to see the substitution now, I believe. The fourth official, Graham Scott, just preparing the board, but the throw-in is taken quickly, and here is a Wanyi. So the change will have to wait. It's played forward, and it's headed out of play, and will be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest, which Lodi will take quickly. Well, they're just held up now, actually, of Chelsea making that substitution. They may be making a triple change, but we'll see what's going on with that in a moment. Here's Bolly. Bolly plays the ball infield to Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White, he gives the ball to Lodi. Real chance now for Forest. The ball cuts across. It's behind Ryan Yates. Unlucky for him. He's not able to get the shot away. Lodi again. This time he gives the ball to Morgan Gibbs-White, but the linesman has a flag up, and it will be a free kick. Yeah, and that's wonderful play. So the ball is just behind Yates. Very unlucky, really. But it's another fantastic move, isolating Koulibaly. Yates just struck the shot, but it was behind him, and it went wide. Here's a triple change. So we have Ziyech, Gallagher, and Aubameyang. So we're just going to take a look who's coming off. So Sterling is one. Sterling, Mount is another. And we're just going to take a look who is the third, and it is Jorginho is the third. So we have Ziyech, Gallagher, and Aubameyang on. Sterling, Jorginho, and Mount are off. So radical changes made by the Chelsea manager. Triple substitution by Graham Potter. He's rolling the dice in the hope that Chelsea can get back in control of this game, because this second half, it has to be said, has been dominated by Nottingham Forest. Here's Ziyech. Gallagher. Gallagher got some space in front of him there. And Gallagher. And he gives the ball there to the number 28, which is Azpilicueta. And the ball is played forward now. Wanyi has the chance. Can he break forward? Tyrell Wanyi. He breaks into the penalty area. Does a big man. And it took. Well, that was fantastic run by Taiwo Wanyi. He broke inside the penalty area, but the ball just went too far ahead of him, and it was collected by Arrizabalaga. But he just got inside that Chelsea defence far too easily there. And here's Thiago Silva. And Gallagher. And it's played out to Cucurella. And Thiago Silva. Gallagher. Ball is out on the far side to Azpilicueta. Played forward, looking for Ziyech. Ziyech was fouled. And it will be a free kick for the foul on Ziyech by Lodi. And here is ball is by Havertz, gives it to Pulisic, and now back to Kovacic. And it's Pulisic, and he gives the ball there to Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta gets a cross in, and Havertz was waiting. I saw Aubameyang, but it was headed away by Worrell. Good work by the Nottingham Forest defender, and Johnson tries to keep it in play, but the ball is out of play. So Chelsea still 7 points off fourth place. No team this century has been this far out of the top four at this stage and made it. So there's a challenges there for Chelsea. Here's Azpilicueta. And here's Koulibaly. Koulibaly to Gallagher. Oh, and Koulibaly's ball is disappointing, but Cucurella makes up and maintains possession. Here's Kovacic. Out on the far side to Azpilicueta, to Gallagher. Gallagher back to Koulibaly. And he plays the ball to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva now. And he plays the ball infield to Gallagher. Gallagher under pressure. Just gives the ball to Cucurella. And he just hands it to Pulisic. Back to Cucurella. And here's Gallagher. He's got time and space. He just dinks the ball over the top looking for Pulisic, who tries to head the ball on, but Joe Worrell, great defending by him. And he plays the ball out. He was looking for Brennan Johnson, but the ball was just away from him. And Thiago Silva comes up and clears up. And Nottingham Forest are going to be making their first substitution. And it looks like it's going to be Jack Colback, sorry. I'm just trying to see who's coming off for Colback. I'm going to find that out here in just a moment. And it is Mangala who is coming off. Orel Mangala. He's coming off today, and Jack Colback will be coming on for Steve Cooper's first roll of the dice with the substitutions. And Jack Colback, who wears the number 8 jersey for Nottingham Forest. Mangala, perhaps a little disappointed to be taken off, but as an avid professional, he comes off calmly and wishes his teammate all the best of luck. Here's Colback with his first touch of the ball. And Lodi there, his first touch wasn't great. And here's Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech, he tried to send it through to Aubameyang, but good work by Bolly intercepting that. Because if that would have gone through, that was Aubameyang through one-on-one. And just trying to win that ball back is Freuler. Colback is dispossessed that time and just held up there by Kai Havertz, and the ball is long into the Nottingham Forest goal mouth, and it's just taken easily by Dean Henderson. Well, the ball was long looking for Pulisic there, but he wasn't there, and it was comfortable take in the end by Dean Henderson. Well, we're inside the last 12 minutes. It's Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1. Up there to try to win that ball is the goal scorer, Serge Aurier. Goes out of play off Cucurella. Well, 71% possession still for Chelsea, but 12 attempts to Chelsea 6 in this second half has shown Nottingham Forest dominance in the second half. They really have been a completely changed team. Colbeck just wins that header, but it only goes as far as Gallagher. Gallagher to Pulisic. Pulisic just trying to get away from Yates. And Pulisic just holds the ball up. And he gives it to Kovacic. Is Kovacic fouled there? The referee says no. Here's Brennan Johnson. Just trying to get away. Tries to slip the ball there to Gibbs White, but Gibbs White knocks the ball out of play. So you're listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by the brilliant Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. So as we enter the last 10 minutes here at the City Ground, it's Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1. Here's Arrizabalaga. Gives it to Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva. And here's Kovacic. And he hands the ball back to Silva. Gives the ball to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He gives the ball to Kovacic. On the far side there is Azpilicueta, and he gives it to Ziyech. Ziyech just trying to get away from Lodi. Not successful. Good interception by Lodi. It's going to be a throw into Chelsea. Gallagher gives it back to Azpilicueta and gives it to Ziyech. Ziyech, nice ball into the box. There's Aubameyang! Oh, and he just gets the header on it, and he puts it wide. And it is that's a chance, you have to say, for a finisher of Aubameyang's quality. So he's about 6 yards out. He's got to hit the target from there. Instead, it goes wide, and Nottingham Forest breathe again. Going to be a goal kick to Nottingham Forest. Dean Henderson will take, and he plays the ball downfield. It's just knocked on that time by Aurier, but the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Chelsea, which Cucurella will tip. We have another substitution for Nottingham Forest. Sam Surridge is coming on. We're just going to see who's coming off. It's Brennan Johnson. Interesting. I thought Brennan Johnson has certainly been one of Nottingham Forest's more attacking threats in this second half, but he goes off and Sam Surridge will replace him. And that's Nottingham Forest's second substitution of the game. Cucurella will now take the throw-in. He's delaying it. Just takes it. He finds Pulisic, and it goes off Aurier again. It's going to be another throw-in to Chelsea. Here's Thiago Silva. He goes all the way back to Arrizabalaga. Arrizabalaga just gives it to Conor Gallagher, who gives it to Cesar Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta now moving forward over the halfway line. He's got time, he's got space, and he's got players up there with him, including Conor Gallagher. He decides this time to go back, does Azpilicueta. Koulibaly. Thiago Silva plays the ball forward to Kai Havertz. He's got a bit of space. Havertz tries to find Aubameyang, but it's a disappointing ball and comfortably cleared up by Bolly. And Dean Henderson now clears the ball downfield. Gibbs White claiming a foul on him that time by Kovacic. It's not given. Here's Pulisic. Pulisic to Havertz. Havertz to Cucurella. To Kovacic. To Gallagher. Gallagher. And Pulisic nearly dispossessed there. The ball is flicked on by Aubameyang. And Chelsea maintain possession. And here is Azpilicueta, and it's Ziyech now. Back to Azpilicueta. What can he do with it? Azpilicueta tries to play the ball across, but it's blocked by Colback, and it goes behind for a goal kick off Hakim Ziyech, who's not pleased with that, but it will be a goal kick. Well, that was a good block. Let's look at this again. Ziyech's ball to Azpilicueta. The block is excellent there by Bolly. Had that ball gotten across, there was Aubameyang waiting there. So 7 minutes left, almost time for me to figure out my player of the match. Still got a bit of thinking time, I think. And here is Pulisic now, and Aurier just dispossesses Pulisic, and Aurier plays the ball forward, and it's knocked on there looking for Surridge. And it's good work by Thiago Silva, who wins it back. He's been impressive today for Chelsea as Thiago Silva. And here's Azpilicueta and Gallagher. Gallagher just knocks it back, and Colback has won the ball back for Nottingham Forest. Colback gives it to Awoniyi. What can Awoniyi do with it now? He's inside the penalty area, tries to give it back to Colback, but the ball just isn't quite right. And here's Freuler. And it's back to Bolly by Lodi. And just the ball there was a bit wayward by Awoniyi. He was looking for Colback. Would have been a good chance that for Forest. Foul on Ryan Yates by Kovacic, and it will be a free kick to the Reds. Well, Nottingham Forest will be pleased enough with a point here for sure. I think they may have taken that at the start of the game, but I think given the second half pressure, and it looks like Nottingham Forest are raring to bring on Nico Williams. And this will be their third change. And of course, that means their final change. They can't make any more after this because they've got 3 attempts. And we'll just wait and see whether that change does take place. They've held off at the moment. And over this one is Morgan Gibbs-White. And he launches it forward. He's looking for Taiwo Awoniyi again. Awoniyi unable to win that. Koulibaly gets the better of him. Ziyech now, though, for Nottingham Forest, but won back well by Bolly. And it's the foul. The foul has been given against Bolly, which I feel was very unfortunate. There's actually going to be another change as well for Chelsea. So Carney Chukwuemeka is coming on for Pulisic. So that will make the 5th substitution for Chelsea. Carney Chukwuemeka on for Pulisic. For Nottingham Forest, are they going to make their change now? They're still holding off by the looks of it. So Nico Williams not brought on as of yet. Here's Kovacic. And here's Azpilicueta. Back to Kovacic. Kovacic, is he fouled there? The referee says no. And Nottingham Forest do win the ball back. And here is Morgan Gibbs-White storming over the halfway line. He's looking for options. Oh, he was looking for Surridge, but it's a comfortable interception by Cucurella. And Gallagher now. And he plays it to Cucurella. And it's won back by Chukwuemeka. He's just got his first touch in the game. Gallagher. And here's Azpilicueta, and he gives it to Ziyech. Ziyech, he tried to slide in. Havertz not successful. Chelsea are trying to win the ball back now, though, but that's a good interception by Colback. And it looks like there's a foul on him, and it's going to be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. It is Nico Williams. Yes, it's a defensive change by Nottingham Forest, perhaps comfortable with what they've got now. Taiwo Awoniyi coming off now, and Nico Williams coming on, and that'll be the final change for Nottingham Forest. But Taiwo Awoniyi has been absolutely fantastic today, running at the Chelsea defence all the way through this second half. We didn't see much of him in the first half, but he's been so much better in the second half. Perhaps a possible candidate for player of the match, as I am just about ready to name my guy. And there's actually a couple from either side that I can pick. The ball is played. It's Dean Henderson who takes that free kick, and Morgan Gibbs-White challenging with Kovacic. Kovacic plays the ball away, and Yates, who just knocks it to Serge Aurier. And here is Williams now running down that right-hand side. And the ball goes out of play off Cucurella. So I'm going to name my player of the match here in just a moment. And Serge Aurier is going to be taken quickly. And Serge Aurier, it's intercepted by Cucurella. And it's Havertz now and cleared away. Chasing this one is Aubameyang, but Bolly is up there with him, and there's Chuck Mawaker trying to gain possession of the ball, but he's not able to. And it goes all the way back to Arrizabalaga. So my player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, I am giving it to Nottingham Forest, number 9, Taiwo Awoniyi. His performance in the second half has been excellent, running at that Chelsea defence. They found it very difficult to control him, and he was a constant threat throughout the second half. So my player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Nottingham Forest, number 9, Taiwo Awoniyi. Here's Gallagher now for Chelsea. And here is the number 22, Hakim Ziyech, but he's dispossessed. And it's a foul by Gallagher on Jack Colback, and it will be a free kick and a yellow card for Gallagher. So he becomes the second Chelsea player in the book for the foul there. So free kick to Nottingham Forest as we enter stoppage time. We're just waiting to see how much time Graham Scott is going to allow. Free kick to be taken midway inside the Nottingham Forest half. There is in fact going to be 3 minutes added on. So Graham Scott allows 3 minutes at the end of this game. But my goodness, has it been a better second half and a better effort from Nottingham Forest, who really deserve to be back into this game. Chelsea themselves have really found it difficult in the second half, creating very little options and very little chances for the forwards. The substitutions made, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang perhaps having the best chance, but he wasn't able to get his head onto the end of that. But Nottingham Forest really have deserved a point, at least a draw today. They've done very, very well in this second half. Now here is Thiago Silva to Kovacic. Gallagher. And Gallagher gives it back to Thiago Silva. And gives it to Koulibaly. And it's back out to Gallagher. Gallagher now. Cucurella. An honourable mention for Cucurella. He was my Chelsea option. Been absolutely outstanding today. Thiago Silva, another one who's played very well. And he picks up the ball in the centre circle inside his own half. Koulibaly and Thiago Silva. So much little opportunity created. Here's a chance now. Oh, and here's Aubameyang. It just goes behind Havertz. Aubameyang tried to flick the ball onto Havertz, but it was just behind him. And that was a rare break for Chelsea. And here's Havertz again under pressure. It's cleared away. And here's Kovacic again. Over to Koulibaly. And that's a foul on Ziyech, surely. That's a free kick. And Lodi gets the yellow card for that challenge. Completely unnecessary, really. He just went storming into the Chelsea forward. And it'll be a free kick now to Chelsea. Over this one is Hakim Ziyech. And he's going to want to launch this one in as we are in stoppage time at this point. A goal now will win the game for sure. It's to be swung in by Ziyech, and it's just headed up in the air by Aurier. It's not far enough away. And that's it. The referee blows full time. It's finished 1-1. A point earned by Nottingham Forest and one they would have taken at the start of the day. A goal in the second half by Serge Aurier on 63 minutes, rewarding all the pressure by Nottingham Forest in the second half. Excellent performances all round by Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White struck the underside of the crossbar. Brennan Johnson forcing saves from Ariza Balaga. Chances are plenty for Nottingham Forest in the second half. They wasn't able to go on and win it. But Chelsea, they have got concerns. They really did not create anything in the second half and very little in the first half. It's finished here at the City Ground. It is Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1. You've been listening to the Commentary Hub.